Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Statistics, an arrangement of values of a variable showing their observed or theoretical frequency of occurrence. The spatial or geographic property of being scattered about over a range, area, or volume. Worldwide in distribution. The act of distributing or spreading or apportioning. The commercial activity of transporting and selling goods from a producer to a consumer. Statistics, an arrangement of values of a variable showing their observed or theoretical frequency of occurrence. The spatial or geographic property of being scattered about over a range, area, or volume. Spreading widely or driving off. The act of dispersing or diffusing something. The dispersion of the troops. The persons, or committees or departments etc., who make up a body for the purpose of administering something. An ordered manner. Orderliness by virtue of being methodical and well organized. His compulsive organization was not an endearing quality. The act of forming or establishing something. He still remembers the organization of the club. The activity or result of distributing or disposing persons or things properly or methodically. His organization of the workforce was very efficient. A group of people who work together. The act of organizing a business or an activity related to a business. He was brought in to supervise the organization of a new department. An organized structure for arranging or classifying. The facts were familiar, but it was in the organization of them that he was original. The persons, or committees or departments etc., who make up a body for the purpose of administering something. An ordered manner. Orderliness by virtue of being methodical and well organized. The act of forming or establishing something. The activity or result of distributing or disposing persons or things properly or methodically. A group of people who work together. The act of organizing a business or an activity related to a business. An organized structure for arranging or classifying. The act of arranging and adapting a piece of music. The spatial property of the way in which something is placed. The arrangement of the furniture. The thing arranged or agreed to. They made arrangements to meet in Chicago. A piece of music that has been adapted for performance by a particular set of voices or instruments. An organized structure for arranging or classifying. He changed the arrangement of the topics. An orderly grouping, of things or persons, considered as a unit, the result of arranging. A flower arrangement. An ordered manner. Orderliness by virtue of being methodical and well organized. We can't do it unless we establish some system around here. A group of independent but interrelated elements comprising a unified whole. A vast system of production and distribution and consumption keep the country going. A complex of methods or rules governing behavior. They have to operate under a system they oppose. An organized structure for arranging or classifying. He tried to understand their system of classification. A group of physiologically or anatomically related organs or parts. The body has a system of organs for digestion. A procedure or process for obtaining an objective. They had to devise a system that did not depend on cooperation. Instrumentality that combines interrelated interacting artifacts designed to work as a coherent entity. He bought a new stereo system. Physical chemistry. A sample of matter in which substances in different phases are in equilibrium. In a static system, oil cannot be replaced by water on a surface. The living body considered as made up of interdependent components forming a unified whole. Exercise helped him get the alcohol out of his system. The property possessed by an array of things that have space between them. The time between occurrences of a repeating event. Some women do not control the spacing of their children. The property possessed by an array of things that have space between them. Something that people do or cause to happen. Something that people do or cause to happen. Pretend to have certain qualities or state of mind. He acted the idiot. Behave unnaturally or affectedly. She's just acting. Something that people do or cause to happen. A legal document codifying the result of deliberations of a committee or society or legislative body. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. Think before you act. A short performance that is part of a longer program. He did his act 3 times every evening. Perform on a stage or theater. She acts in this play. Have an effect or outcome, often the one desired or expected. How does your idea work in practice? Behave in a certain manner. Show a certain behavior. Conduct or comport oneself. You should act like an adult. Play a role or part. She wants to act Lady Macbeth, but she is too young for the role. A manifestation of insincerity. He put on quite an act for her benefit. A subdivision of a play or opera or ballet. Be engaged in an activity, often for no particular purpose other than pleasure. Be suitable for theatrical performance. This scene acts well. Discharge one's duties. She acts as the chair. Something that people do or cause to happen. A legal document signed and sealed and delivered to effect a transfer of property and to show the legal right to possess it. He signed the deed. The United States federal department that promotes and administers domestic and foreign trade, including management of the Census and the Patent Office, created in 1913. Transactions, sales and purchases, having the objective of supplying commodities, goods and services. Social exchange, especially of opinions, attitudes, etc. Transactions, sales and purchases, having the objective of supplying commodities, goods and services. An economic system, Europe in 18th century, to increase a nation's wealth by government regulation of all of the nation's commercial interests. Transactions, sales and purchases, having the objective of supplying commodities, goods and services. A theoretical distribution with finite mean and variance. A theoretical distribution of the number of successes in a finite set of independent trials with a constant probability of success. Take a sample of items selected at random from a population and used to test hypotheses about the population. All are part of a natural object that is collected and preserved as an example of its class. A small part of something intended as representative of the whole. A theoretical distribution that is a good approximation to the binomial distribution when the probability is small and the number of trials is large. A flat distribution having equal frequencies of occurrence. A distribution of observed frequencies of occurrence of the values of a variable. A theoretical distribution with finite mean and variance. Items selected at random from a population and used to test hypotheses about the population. Measurement at regular intervals of the amplitude of a varying waveform, in order to convert it to digital form. Statistics, the selection of a suitable sample for study. Items selected at random from a population and used to test hypotheses about the population. A theoretical distribution of the number of successes in a finite set of independent trials with a constant probability of success. The opening of a subject to widespread discussion and debate. The act of dispersing or diffusing something. The property of being diffused or dispersed. The neural or electrical arousal of an organ or muscle or gland. The distribution of nerve fibers to an organ or body region. Linguistics. A distribution of related speech sounds or forms in such a way that they only appear in different contexts. Fully extended in width. Outspread wings. Strew or distribute over an area. He spread fertilizer over the lawn. Distributed or spread over a considerable extent. 11 million Jews are spread throughout Europe. Distribute or disperse widely. The invaders spread their language all over the country. Process or result of distributing or extending over a wide expanse of space. Become distributed or widespread. The infection spread. Act of extending over a wider scope or expanse of space or time. A tasty mixture to be spread on bread or crackers are used in preparing other dishes. Decorative cover for a bed. Cause to become widely known. Spread information. A conspicuous disparity or difference as between two figures. The spread between lending and borrowing costs. Farm consisting of a large tract of land along with facilities needed to raise livestock, especially cattle. Spread out or open from a closed or folded state. Spread your arms. Spread across or over. A big oil spot spread across the water. Two facing pages of a book or other publication. Become widely known and passed on. The rumor spread. A haphazard distribution in all directions. A meal that is well prepared and greatly enjoyed. They put out quite a spread. Move outward. Cover by spreading something over. Spread the bread with cheese. Prepared or arranged for a meal, especially having food set out. A table spread with food. The expansion of a person's girth, especially at middle age. She exercised to avoid that middle-aged spread. Distribute over a surface in a layer. Spread cheese on a piece of bread. The act of dispersing or diffusing something. The diffusion of knowledge. The property of being diffused or dispersed. Physics. The process in which there is movement of a substance from an area of high concentration of that substance to an area of lower concentration. The spread of social institutions, and myths and skills, from one society to another.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.